For a bit of context, every birthday I buy my husband a cake and throw him a little get-together with the family and our kids. This year, he had previously told me not to do a get-together or buy him cakes or balloons. He just wanted to go out and eat with the kids on his birthday and on the following day. We have always had some kind of cake on birthdays, so my daughter, 7, and I thought it would still be a good idea to bake a cake for my husband. We spent roughly about 6 hours baking and decorating the cake as we watched a tutorial for it, first time baking a cake. When he came home, we sang happy birthday to him, and I could tell he was a bit annoyed with the cake. As we were leaving to go to a restaurant, we left the cake downstairs at my mother-in-law's place to share it with the rest of the family. Fast forward to our return, my sister comes by and wants to try the cake, so I ask my husband to try it too. He then started making comments that he didn't like cakes, not true, that he was full, that he wouldn't touch it, etc. My mother-in-law is a natural idiot of a person, and I could see her laughing at the whole ordeal. I was practically begging him to please try the cake, just one spoonful. After some back and forth, he finally tasted the cake and continued to tell his mom that he didn't like the cake, that it was a piece of poop, etc. I can assure you it did not taste horrible, it wasn't an amazing cake, but it was edible enough to call it a cake. My daughter and I spent long hours trying to do a little something extra for him. Sure, he had asked me not to buy a cake on days prior, but is it too much to ask someone on their birthday to try a cake? Am I the idiot for begging my husband to eat a piece of cake he didn't ask for? When I confronted him about the nasty attitude towards the whole thing, he thinks I am just upset about his mother laughing at me. You are upset that my mom knows how hard you worked on the cake and she knew I wouldn't like it. Sure, that did annoy me, but what really struck me was his attitude towards our small gift of appreciation. Edit. He is Cuban. I made him a Cuban cake. He likes and has eaten those before. Also, he did get what he wanted for his birthday. I took him to eat at very nice restaurants 2 days in a row. Thoughts. Since I am undoubtedly the idiot, as per the comments, I want to say I regret nothing of what I did. I was taught to appreciate anything I was given, and I hope to pass that on to my kids. I baked a cake because my daughter wanted to do something together with me for her dad, and our son, 4, also loves cakes. Cakes have been at every single birthday in our house, and there ain't no husband on earth that will stop our cake celebrating birthday. Will I ever bake a cake for him? No. Will I buy one next year? Yes, he can just cry in a corner while we have fun blowing a candle and eating cake. As for my daughter, she can learn the valuable lesson of don't marry a man that can't even taste a bit of cake because it would hurt his sorry feelings/wishes. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Everyone sucks here. You're an idiot for trying to force him to do something he didn't want to do. Regardless of his reasons, you should have respected the fact that he didn't want any cake. While I don't think baking him a cake makes you an idiot, this should have been primarily geared towards friends/family, i.e. your kids, and you should have taken the time to talk with your husband first. Surprising him with something he said he didn't want was not a great idea. However, he acted in an immature manner and didn't even put on a face for his daughter. If she was present for or learns about those comments, she is going to be upset. He cared more about making a point than considering the feelings of those who had made the cake for him, specifically his daughter. Because there was a child involved, this really should have been handled better on both sides. Comment 2. Honestly, you're the idiot. He said he didn't want a cake, so you ignored him and did what you wanted because you wanted to sing happy birthday. Then when he said he didn't want any, you kept on until he did what you wanted, then didn't say what you wanted to hear. Yes, he should have used adult words and said, I'm annoyed/frustrated/upset that you haven't listened to what I wanted on my birthday. He decided to insult what you'd made, but also sounds like you made one type of cake knowing he'd prefer a different type. I'm thinking his frustration has been a building thing, and this was just another instance of you not listening. Comment 3. I absolutely detest chocolate cakes. Too rich for me. On my birthday, it has happened that I got 2 chocolate cakes, 'cause most people like to eat chocolate cakes. I have also been very vocal about not liking chocolate cakes. This only stopped after I threw a massive tantrum about it. One freaking day, no chocolate cake, yada yada yada. I haven't got chocolate cake since. OP, you see where I'm going with this? Now, for the next story. My wife is fully obsessed with Taylor Swift. For the last year plus, that's all she listens to. Every Taylor Swift album on one continuous loop when she's working out or even just walking around the house doing stuff. She spent $2,000 to go see her recently at the Eras tour. She probably spent another $200 on merchandise. She filmed the show on her phone and will regularly put it on the TV and just watch for hours. She will also watch the live streams of her performances on TikTok or whatever streaming platform those are on. She is now going to go see the concert movie. I mean, it has been non-stop Taylor Swift in our house for a long time now. She continually refers to the live concert as the best experience of my life. She says Taylor Swift is a lifestyle. I personally don't really get it. I have never been obsessed with anything to that point. I love soccer and would love to watch Messi play, but I cannot bring myself to spend $900 for a ticket to his upcoming match. It's just too much. I am also really passionate about things my wife has no interest in, but I'm also not looking for her emotional support with those. Those are just things that are important to me and will remain important to me regardless. I have for sure made comments to my wife implying that this whole Taylor Swift thing is getting out of hand. I also was not super stoked that she was spending that much on one ticket to go see one concert, but ultimately it's what she really wanted and we had the money, so I said yes, and I am happy that she got to go. Recently, she blew up on me about how I don't support her as much as she thinks I should with her Taylor Swift lifestyle. She cites comments I make implying it's a cult and the only one winning here is Taylor Swift raking in the dough, and maybe it's time to focus on other things. She wants me to stop making comments like that and stop rolling my eyes and be supportive of her and her interests, but from my perspective, it's really taking over her life, and that just can't be healthy to obsess over something like that. People need balance. I also thought one of the benefits of marriage was to have someone tell you this kind of stuff and it shouldn't be an argument. So, 8th. If so, what can I do about this situation to make things right? Comment 1. I have a lot of interests that I obsess over. One, for instance, is Warhammer 40K. I love playing it, talking about strategy, lore, etc. I'll even talk about it to friends who aren't really into it. The difference is that I don't obsess over it 24/7 and force people to be around it all the time. Some of your comments may be excessive and rude, but it does sound kinda annoying to be around. Especially when she claims that it's a lifestyle. There's a difference with having an interest/hobby and being so obsessed with it that it's your life 24/7. Not the idiot. Comment 2. My husband and I are both passionate about sports. Completely different sports. I don't want to watch his sport, but I'll congratulate him if his team won. I don't bother him when his match is on, and he does the same for me. He doesn't watch my sport, but he will ask how my favorite competitor is faring. We show mild interest in each other's thing just to be supportive. We also don't push our things on the other person. This is the way. Comment 3. NTA. You absolutely are not required to emotionally support her superfandom. She seems weird. ETA. Seems I have rustled the jimmies of a lot of Swifties, and I'm okay with that. Now, for the next story. All right, guys, I was forced to make this post because she said she was getting too much hate from biased responses. She wanted to see if I get different replies if I post it. I'm a surgical fellow, kinda like a resident, and I work 7 a.m. whenever, sometimes earlier like 4 p.m., sometimes later like 7 p.m., but usually home between 7 p.m. She isn't working right now, and she's just studying for her exam, I personally think to an excessive amount. She's type A and worried she'll fail when she's never failed an exam in her life. We have a 1-year-old daughter who goes to daycare from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We have an au pair to help out. Hours are set at wife's discretion because I'm not the one responsible for the kid right now. So, since she's not working, she's been doing all of the chores. When I get home, I just want to rest. And I figured she had all day with plenty of time off and hired help. She can help manage the household chores. She can't work for a few more weeks/months, unknown exactly when, due to some licensing issues. She also threatened to move back and take our baby. There are some issues with that because I work every day, and that would mean I would almost never get to see either of them. And I signed a lease for 3 adults and 3 bedrooms, which is more than my salary. She wanted me to explicitly add in 1. She had to give up her $400,000 job, then some bonus to move, so being unemployed is due to my career move. 2. She's contributing more than 50% of the family expenses. She pays for the daycare au pair. 3. She says she's tired of being my mom and my servant. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1 and GT. She wanted me to explicitly add in, she had to give up her $400,000 job, then some bonus to move, so being unemployed is due to my career move. She's contributing more than 50% of the family expenses. She pays for the daycare/au pair. She says she's tired of being my mom and my servant. So what exactly are you contributing to the relationship? If she left you, she could make $400,000, pay for the daycare au pair easily and out of salary instead of savings, and have fewer chores to do. If the only benefit of being with you is that she loves you, at least be worthy of that love by helping with your own child. Comment 2. You left out some incredibly key details that greatly influence the outcome of this decision. She gave up her lucrative job to move with you to yours. She pays for all the childcare, does chores, and she financially contributes to the household. So, everything is taken care of and you're mad? I'm assuming her studying for an exam is for her career. Why is your career more important than hers? I'm also assuming she worked and provided financial support while you were studying for medical school. What's the difference here? You're the idiot. Comment 3. So, fun fact, there's this thing called married single motherhood, and she's tired of living it. I don't know who is the AH here, but I know she's entitled to be upset over the current setup. You want her to stay around because you cannot afford to live alone in your lease. You never once mentioned you love your wife. This is like a freaking checklist of your expectations of her without taking into account what she's given up in this process. Now, for the next story. So, this happened yesterday, and I am still in shock from the glares I received. I, 32-year-old male, was on a crowded train coming back from work. I managed to get a seat as I boarded early. A few stops later, a pregnant woman, maybe in her 30s, got on and was standing right in front of me. Everyone in the carriage looked at me, expecting me to offer my seat. I didn't. Now, before you judge me, hear me out. I have a medical condition that causes me extreme pain if I stand for long periods of time. I always try to get a seat when I can and avoid standing as much as possible. I carry a card with me that explains my condition, which I showed to the woman. She just rolled her eyes and said, "Really?" I felt humiliated. At the next stop, an elderly man offered his seat to the woman, and she gratefully accepted. The rest of the journey, I could feel everyone's eyes on me, judging me. I felt so small. When I got off the train, a man came up to me and called me an asterisk hole. I was so embarrassed. So, Reddit, am I the idiot? I feel terrible about the whole situation, but I genuinely couldn't stand for that long. Was I wrong to prioritize my own health? Edit. Thanks for all the responses. I just want to clarify that I did not expect the elderly man to give up his seat. I was actually about to offer to stand despite the pain when he stood up. I appreciate all your comments and support. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Pregnant person here in my 3rd trimester. Not the idiot. The reason they want pregnant people to sit on buses and trains is because our center of gravity is off, particularly in the 3rd trimester. So we're at higher risk of falling down if there are any unexpected lurches. This does not entitle us to demand a seat from people with disabilities. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Were there just 2 seats on the train, yours and the old guy's? Why didn't any of the other people shooting you glares stand up? Also, did she think you just had your card in case someone asked for your seat and were really faking it? She's the AH for not immediately saying something or making it clear you also deserved the seat. Comment 3. Not the idiot. If you have a valid medical condition, then you have a valid reason to need the seat. There were plenty of people who could have gotten up for her, including the man who approached you. You're not responsible for their hypocrisy. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.